So you've picked the hottest class in Diablo 4, the Necromancer. And you're looking for a build to get you through the campaign with no trouble. Well, buddy boy, you came to the right place. Big damage, crowd control, and minion shenanigans all rolled into one fun package. Again, take note, this is not an endgame build, but a build designed to help you get to the endgame. I myself ain't in the endgame yet, been stopping to smell the roses while I play and taking this game that took oh so many painstaking years to make. Here's a quick overview of what exactly the build is. We're going to A, litter the ground with many a corpse, and B, use those corpses to inflict stun, vulnerable, and deal straight up damage, which will in turn make, you guessed it, more corpses. We'll start at the main core of the build and then kind of branch outward. At the very core of the build, or at least the most fun part, is the combination of Corpse Explosion and Corpse Tendrils, which we are going to try to dial up to 11. In a nutshell, it goes like so. You get a body on the ground one way or another, you activate Corpse Tendrils, and yeah, I mean, the game says they're veins, but I think we've all seen enough internet to yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're right, Blizzard. They're veins. After you summon them, they pull enemies in, deal damage, and stun them for 3 seconds. My current modifiers on Corpse Tendrils also make it so that enemies are both slowed and made vulnerable for 3 seconds. If you didn't know, vulnerable means that enemies will take an additional 20% incoming damage. Not bad. Also, Tendrils do not use up the corpse on the ground, which is great because it means we can now use Corpse Explosion. Turn that body into a bomb, which deals very respectable damage. Hey, remember how we modified Tendrils to do stunned, slowed, and vulnerable? Well, you can modify Corpse Explosion to do more damage to enemies that are slowed, stunned, or vulnerable, and those bonuses to damage all stack together. Hell of a combo, boys, gotta tell you. Use the corpse veins to pull enemies in, set off a bomb, and deal big damage to an already vulnerable enemy. Yeah, as mentioned, the vulnerable effect only will go on for 3 seconds. But here's a demo on how quickly you can activate Corpse Explosion in just 3 seconds. That is damn fast. And by the way, Corpse Explosion costs 0 essence. As long as you have a body, it is free to do. There are straight up situations where if you can get just one body on the floor, you can spam Corpse Explosion over and over and the entire room is dead only seconds later. It is super fun in close quarters. And FYI, neither you nor your bony boys take damage from Corpse Explosion. You can spam it without worry. Now, while you can use this as a solo necro for sure, I love minions and I think it's a pretty fun pairing. If you're a high enough level to summon a golem, I recommend a good old-fashioned bone golem. Blood and iron are fun, but the bone golem gives us something we want, the ability to put more corpses on the battlefield. Each time your bony boy takes 20% of its max life, it drops a free corpse on the ground. Beautiful. If you're not high enough level to have a golem yet, that is fine. Regular skeletons are very fun too. I go with the Reaper skeletons because of the following upgrade. Reaper attacks on enemies who are immobilized, slowed, stunned, or vulnerable reduce the cooldown of the powerful wind-up attack. Corpse Tendrils gives us 3 out of 4 of those conditions for free, which is awesome. You could also go with the other upgrade, which will give you even more free corpses. Win-win either way. If you got skeletal mages, I've tried out the shadow mages and they do work very well with this build, but I really like cold mages. Completely freezing a tough enemy in place so everyone else in your party can wail on it is a great feeling. And on top of that, cold mages can make enemies vulnerable, which again means that they not only take more damage, but will take even more damage from modified Corpse Explosion. In between whipping enemies with veins and blowing up bodies, you're going to want some attacks to spam at the enemy, which also tie into the build. There's a few options that work, but I'm currently using both Blight and Decompose. Blight deals damage on impact and then leaves a pool on the ground that deals damage over time. I've modified it though so that it A, slows enemies, and B, my undead bros deal more damage to enemies who are in the Blight. That way the minions kill the blighted target faster, and because they're slow, they take more damage from Corpse Explosion. Decompose is a great way to just deal chip damage while waiting for a fresh corpse to drop on the floor. Icing on the cake, not only does Decompose generate free essence, but it also can give you more corpses for free. And of course, your undead bros deal more damage to any enemy being decomposed. So here is the loop. Your bony boys pick a fight and run in swinging. You spam both Blight and Decompose from the backfield, which will not only do damage, but make the enemy take take more minion damage. The minute you get one corpse on the floor, activate Tendrils. Once you've whipped every enemy in the nearby area, which you will see from the vulnerable text on screen, now it's time to start spamming Corpse Explosion for big boy damage. Rinse and repeat. If during the process any of your minions die, just make more. After all, there should be plenty of bodies on the floor with this build, even with you blowing up half the room. Gonna quickly mention a few other perks that go well with this build, but if you're a lower level and you can't afford them, don't worry about it so much. Skeletal Warrior Mastery, Skeletal Mage Mastery, Death's Reach, Terror, Necrotic Carapace, Golem Mastery, Inspiring Leader, Hellbent Commander, and Kalen's Edict. This is by no means the best Necromancer build or anything like that, but it is super straightforward and I've used it to turn a lot of tough fights, including boss encounters, into a complete joke. Again, the core is Tendrils and Corpse Boom Boom, so if you want to swap out Decompose for Reap or Blight for Sever, yada yada yada, do whatever floats that kinky little necro boat of yours. If you're a Necromancer, share any extra build recommendations or alterations down in the comment section. I would love to hear from you, and if you enjoyed today's video, please click the like button. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on stream.